Thursday, January 19. An honest or faithful tithe. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. As children of God and stewards of his blessings, what kind of people are we asked to be? 1 Corinthians 4, beginning at verse 1. Let a man so consider us as servants of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. Moreover, it is required in stewards that one be found faithful. So, what does it mean to be faithful with our tithe? This week we have reviewed several of the constituent elements of the tithe. 1. The amount, which is a tenth or 10% of our income or increase. 2. Taken to the storehouse, the place from which the gospel ministers are paid. 3. Honouring God with the first part of our income. 4. Used for the right purpose, the support of the ministry. It is our responsibility as church members to uphold the first 3 items. It is the responsibility of the storehouse managers to make sure that the tithe funds are used properly. And unlike our offerings, the tithe is not discretionary on our part. The tenth and the storehouse are both part of our responsibility. We don't set the parameters, God does. If I don't return a full 10% of my increase, I'm not really tithing. And if I don't bring that 10% to the storehouse, I'm not really tithing either. Read Matthew 25, verses 19 to 21. When are we called upon to give an account of our management of God's funds? What is said to those who have been financially faithful? Matthew 25, beginning at verse 19. After a long time the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents beside them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. We read in the book Education, page 138, Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, Malachi 3:10, is God's command. No appeal is made to gratitude or to generosity. This is a matter of simple honesty. The tithe is the Lord's, and he bids us return to him that which is his own. End of quote. Managing for God is a unique privilege and a responsibility as well. He blesses and sustains us and asks for only a tenth, and then he uses his tithe to provide for those in the ministry, as he did for the tribe of Levi during the time of ancient Israel. And so to finish today, some argue that they don't like how their tithe money is used, and hence either don't tithe or send their money somewhere else. Yet, where did God say, Bring the tithe to the storehouse, but only if you are sure that the storehouse is using it right? This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful. And here is a disclaimer. Contents of these lessons are not intended to be financial advice, but is general commentary based on biblical principles. The reader is encouraged to seek competent professional advice which will suit their particular personal situation.